I said, I chose you. And he left forever. Before we start, I'd love your support to reach 1,000 subscribers. It means the world. The phone rang as I stood at the kitchen sink, watching the last light of evening slip away. I almost didn't answer. The house was finally quiet after dinner. My husband dozed on the couch, the television murmuring softly. I wiped my hands on a towel, picked up the phone and tilted toward the counter. My voice was low, automatic. Did you do it? I didn't recognize the number, but I recognized the tone, urgent, familiar, threaded with a feeling I hadn't allowed myself to feel in years. Yes, I said before I even thought. I chose you. The words left my mouth easily. The air seemed to shift. My heart pounded, not with excitement, but with a sudden heavy dread. Behind me, the television fell silent. He was standing now, the remote loose in his hand, pale not with anger but clarity. He didn't shout, didn't demand an explanation. He didn't need to. He had heard everything he needed. I'll call you back, I whispered, hanging up. For a long moment we said nothing. I could hear the fridge hum, the clock tick. I opened my mouth to explain, to soften the words, to wrap them in context, but he raised his hand. Don't. He looked at me like someone standing in a place they once called home, realizing they no longer belonged. Without a word, he walked down the hallway to the bedroom. I followed, rehearsing apologies that suddenly felt useless. He packed in silence. Shirts folded, socks rolled, everything precise. Calm, terrifying calm. I sat on the edge of the bed, watching my life shrink into a suitcase. It's not what it sounds like, I said, voice weak. He paused, then nodded once. It was exactly what it sounded like. He zipped the bag, lifted it and walked past me. At the door he stopped. I thought he might turn around, might ask me to undo it. Instead, I hope one day you understand why I can't stay. Then he was gone. The night stretched on endlessly. I sat on the couch, staring at the dark screen of the television, replaying the sentence over and over. Words have weight. Once spoken, they don't bend. The call had been from someone I loved before my husband, before routines and responsibilities, before passion quietly eroded. That love hadn't disappeared. It had slept, waiting. But loving someone in memory is different from choosing them in reality. And I had chosen. Days turned to weeks. Calls went unanswered. Friends stopped asking questions. Some avoided me. Others looked at me with pity, which somehow hurt more. At night, I lay in bed alone, staring at the side he used to occupy, remembering the warmth of his sleep, the way he reached for me. I realized then, what broke our marriage wasn't just possibility. It was certainty. I had already chosen. Months later, we met by chance at a grocery store. He looked older, steadier. We nodded politely. I'm sorry, I said. He studied me, then gave a small, tired smile. I know, he said. I never meant for you to hear that, I added. I know that too. But I'm glad I did. He walked away, leaving me alone among the apples and oranges, holding the echo of a sentence that had changed everything. Marriages don't always end with explosions. Sometimes they end with a whisper. A single sentence overheard by the one who needed to hear it most. And sometimes the one who leaves is the only one who finally understands the truth.